Hello, ladies and gents. This is Ollie. It's my first coaching session. I have Sexsanity's clip here with me today. So we're just looking at the op.gg before we start the clip. Just having a look. She is going to be playing Kha'Zix today. Um, so in rank, she has a 64% win rate with 11 games played, which isn't massive. One of the first things I recommend is just upping your play time in ranked. And in solo queue, you have 50% win rate with 8 games played. So yeah, first thing you'll need to do with any game, especially League, is just play more. I can see you've got a lot of normals, one for alls, and everything. If you do want to improve massively, then the best thing to do is just play more. I believe we're looking at this game here. However, I'm not 100% sure, so we're just going to go through. But yeah, so let's jump straight into the clip. So I've got us at the start of the game. So the first thing I realised straight off the bat when we were looking at Champion Select, which I haven't included here, is that didn't have a look through your runes. Now, while runes on most champions are pretty standard, you should always double check them to see exactly what you are going to be running each game. It is very, very, very important to be flexible with your runes. Some games do require different ones. Sometimes you have to take that hit in the jungle, remove the armor, and get some MR. Luckily, this game it does seem pretty AD heavy. However, there is two AP damage dealers, being Jax and Silas. In terms of the team comps, I mean, they definitely have the better team comp, except the jungler. Udyr is a low tier, but it seems like he's a one trick Udyr player, so you've got to be extra careful with that. He will know how to jungle. He might also play top as well, but you've got to assume the worst and give him the respect he deserves. So jumping straight into the game here, we're just having a look through. There's nothing too special. So we're going for a standard start, that's absolutely fine. It is always better on Kha'Zix to take the regen item over the lifesteal, just because Kha'Zix's W does a lot of um, AoE damage, meaning you can heal pretty much the full off the Wraiths in one clear, which means you're saving yourself a health potion, which is absolutely massive. So the first thing I've realised is you're tapped out. Yep, and they are invading. I mean, they have a fresh. It is almost 100% guaranteed they're going to invade in pretty much any elo. These players should have all used their summoner spells already. It shouldn't have taken you this long. You should be nice and safe. It is good you're body blocking for the Lux there. However, at this point you just need to disengage. So what you're going to want to do here is Fiddle is doing something strange. What you should have done is just dropped a ward on the red and you should rotate straight to blue. You're not going to get a leash at this point, both your bots backed. Also, one thing you definitely don't want to do early on is you don't want to level a skill. Kha'Zix has a dash ability. If your champ doesn't have a dash ability or any kind of mobility, then yes, it's okay to level a skill straight away. But if you were the one who got hooked, you could have saved your flash potentially if you had your E. But this being said, it's all well and good. So you're starting red, you're not getting much of a leash here, unfortunately. That is bound to happen when you get invaded. Like I said, you should have rotated blue and just dropped a ward. So one thing to notice here, not specifically on this camp, but yeah. So we're going to move from red. So you should be doing Brave Sit 100% of the time. It heals you to full. You can even use your smite for the extra healing. Okay, so W over the wall, straight away you've wasted mana and also you haven't got the heal from your W. You need to be using the W at close proximity every single time. Also saving your smite till your lower HP. So one thing to note here is, I'm just going to pause this quickly and jump onto paint so you should be able to see this. So if this is the jungle camp just here, and this is you. So is a general rule of thumb. Now, this doesn't apply to every single champion because of the fact that everyone has slightly different attack speeds, but at level 1 to 3, pretty much always, you will get 3 autos in the time it takes the camp to do 2 autos. So what you should be doing is you should be stood still, and you should auto 3 times, and then as soon as you've autoed your 3rd time, you walk backwards, and that will reset, so the blue only gets the 2 auto attacks. You then walk forwards again, and do 3 autos, and then move back again. This will save you an absurd amount of HP in the jungle. This applies to pretty much all champions. If, for example, Kha'Zix, who has a Q, you can use that instead of an auto attack, and if you're actually well enough timed, it is an auto attack reset. So you can get 3 autos and a Q in the time it takes the camp just to do 2 autos. Okay. So good, you've got the standard clear down for Kha'Zix. If you don't do the race, you should be doing Gromp because that will get you the level 3. Gromp isn't kiteable unless you're ranged, so you should just be stood there attacking it. The only time you ever walk backwards and forwards, if um, if you are fighting the Gromp and you are melee, is if you got health potion ticking. The reason being, if you take more than enough steps back, obviously the Gromp has to walk towards you. You don't get any damage, but you do get extended healing from your potion. It could be the difference between a full clear and a not full clear. Good here to clear the wolves. However, you should have just left that one up, extra auto on the big one, and then just W. It would have killed them both. But that's good. So it's got an early kill. So you have to look at what the plan is here. So always having a game plan in mind is very important. So obviously the scuttle is coming up in just a moment, so you're here for the scuttle to spawn. You don't know where Udyr is, and at the moment he does beat you in a 1v1. However, you do have Fiddlesticks, and oh, right on time, there he is. Fiddle is moving, which is absolutely great for him. Udyr should have just watched. But yeah, great, you saved your E. Always save your E in every situation unless they use an ability that makes you use it. Same with most champions, but Kha'Zix is very immobile pre-6, or even pre-11 if you don't max your E first, and I never really recommend anyone to do that unless they're heavy snowballing. Right, so here is great. Yeah, you're looking for the jacks. You've seen an opportunity. You have all your abilities up. So what you're going to want to do here is he is going to see you obviously now. Right, so you are just going to want to walk up to here. So he has his Q. 100% he has his Q. There's no way he doesn't. You didn't see him use it. He doesn't have his Counter Strike. But you don't know if he has his flash. There's been no typing to say I can't see it, it's covered, so we're going to assume he has it up for the sake of this. So if you just walk up to here, that way his only escape option is covered. If he Qs onto you, you get a free auto attack. He doesn't have his E at the moment, so you know that you're going to get that guaranteed slow. If he then flashes, you have your E ability ready. Yep. So he Qs to the minions. You could have walked up, got the auto through midair if your attack moved, and then you would have been able to kill him. But it's okay. So here you're just wasting time. Jax knows you're here. If he doesn't, he thinks you're recalling, but he still knows there's going to be pressure from you. So you should have recalled already. Okay, I would have picked up boots here every single time. Mobility is king in the jungle. Kha'Zix's clear is good without the longsword. You don't need a longsword in order to do extra damage. Okay, so here you should be clearing your golems. Every single time you clear your golems here. Golems give you the most XP and the most gold. It's a priority camp as much as it does waste some time early game. It's important to get them leveling up as quickly as possible. Every time you kill the camp, they level up, meaning that you will just be generating a huge amount of gold. So that's great. It's fine you've cleared a ward, but you need to go clear the golems. Golems are, like I said, essential. Okay, so you're looking for the gank here. It's absolutely fine. So Silas has gone back in. This is a free kill. Okay, nice. So you get the kill. You should be pushing out this wave and the next wave for Fiddle, so you can back. You're missing out on a lot of XP by not pushing that out. It doesn't matter if he wants you to or not. You should do it anyway. Okay, so you've seen the scuttles up, but currently you still haven't cleared your camps. You've got every single camp available and you're walking straight through the scuttle ward. So if they don't see you, then that's their problem, but you're going to get punished for that 90% of the time. Yep, and they've warded that as well. So you're missing out on a lot of XP and time here just from not clearing your camps. You have all 4 camps up, and they've seen you here. They know you're here. Yeah, and Udi is there on time again, which is great for him. So at this point, you should just get off. You should get off. Like, yeah, the bot lane is pressuring, and that's great, but they're not moving. And if they're not moving, you're going to lose this. And there we go. So don't jump. You shouldn't jump back in here. You should just concede it. They're stronger than you. Okay. So you just need to run. If you're not 100% sure you can win a fight, then just don't take the fight. Okay, and Silas gets the kill. So currently on the map you have golems, red, wraiths, wolves, grump, scuttle spawning, and almost your blue spawning, and you haven't cleared anything. You should easily have double your CS by now. Yeah, you should be up with Uda. He has 40 CS. Okay, and you still haven't got boots. Boots, like I said, are so important. You wouldn't have to use your movement abilities. You can just actually get in back to the jungle. Okay, so yeah, clear your red. You should always clear red and blue pretty much as soon as they come up if you possibly can. Reason being is the quicker they're down, the quicker they're back up. Biggest XP camps by far. Okay. So you shouldn't use your either. Fresh isn't going to make any extra distance by you walking around. You walk at the same speed as him. Straight away, smite him. Okay. So if you smite him there, you don't lose any of your HP because he can't move as quickly. You just get straight into him, get the kill. But you got the kills anyway, which is still good, but it's the little things that make the huge differences. You would be full HP. You have red buff regen at the moment. Right, so here you should clear the golems. Good. Right, so with the golems, there's something you can do as well. So let's just clear this. So with the golems, you've got the two golems here. You've got the little boy, and you've got the big one. Let's use the brush instead. So this is you here. What you can do is you can actually rotate yourself around this golem here. And if you start here when you're attacking, and then just step backwards and forwards like this golem will actually just get stuck and keep trying to do this. So this mini golem here cannot actually walk around this big guy. So he can't attack you if you're kiting around this one. That will make you take a hell of a lot less damage. Okay. Oh, so something I didn't realise is that you've actually taken the boots. I haven't seen your runes obviously, so that's why you haven't bought boots yet. I don't recommend doing this on any jungler. Like I've seen it, I see a lot of people do it all the time, and it relies pretty much entirely on you snowballing and getting some early kills. Now I understand Kha'Zix is quite a high pressure jungler, so it does kind of mean you're going to get kills, but it's not going to happen every game. There is going to be some games where your team's either just losing, or there's going to be some games where everyone is just winning, so you don't actually have an opportunity to gank properly. I would pretty much always recommend taking, can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, Nimbus Cloak. Nimbus Cloak, now it works on summoner spells, means that you pretty much guaranteed to get the movement speed. Your blue smite plus the Nimbus Cloak gives you insane movement speed. It pretty much makes it so you're unkiteable and you can actually get a lot more kills. And boots is 300 gold. It's only 300 gold. It is nothing worth worrying about. Okay, so you're still just on tier 1 boots here. You could have got boots of mobility. I mean, you would have actually been able to catch up to the Akali if you had boots of mobility here, which could have been the difference between getting a kill and not getting a kill. Okay, so here they're taking your blue. You just want to go do your wolves. You know they're there. That pink ward, if okay, they should have cleared it, but you're wasting time. So Grump is the easiest target to kill for you because you have your isolation damage at level 6. You match your Q. You just need to farm. Good. So you're doing your wolves, which is great. Didn't need to smite. Your smite is the blue smite is so essential for ganks. Getting these slow plus giving yourself movement speed is absolutely insane in all situations. There's no champ that doesn't benefit from it. So you never want to be using your smite, especially on Kha'Zix who has like a 500 damage Q at this point. Okay, so there isn't really an opportunity here, and your golems are up. Great, so just going back to golems here, it's perfect. Once again, using the W from long range for no reason. Don't want to be doing that. Stop cancelling your autos. Just, just a lot of the time in the jungle, you can just kind of half AFK. You don't need to be walking around constantly. Once you've got your core items, there we go, nice. Save that until they're all low. Okay, so yeah, you do need to cover this. Lux is stepping up 4 levels behind, so there's a solid chance she dies here. Okay, yep, she should have died. That's Silas making a mistake. That's nobody's making a good play there. So a lot of the time, people will do that, and there will be a mistake. People can't handle the pressure, but a good player will outplay you there, and you will have got double killed. He should have taken your ult. Would have given him stealth. It meant that his abilities could have reset. So once again, you've looked at the Grump. Jax isn't gankable here. He has a movement ability. He should have a ward always in his pocket, so he should be able to jump behind the tower. And there's been no pings, no communication so far that you're going to dive. Oh, Jax is playing poorly though, so you should kill him here. Okay, yeah, you get the kill. Akali trades 1 for 1. That's a losing situation, and yeah, don't. Okay, you flashed. Yeah, so Udyr has a dot, so that's damage over time. He has his red smite, and he has a lot of AD, so you should never smite there. Never flash there. As soon as you see him start to attack you like that, you just kind of need to fight back, deal as much damage as you can, hopefully make him recoil. But yeah, you were never getting out of that alive. And that is exactly why it wasn't a gankable opportunity. You didn't know where Udyr was. And while you can predict and you know you're going to kind of get the kill, it's not worth it. They got a double from it. Okay, Tabby's is a good buy here. Jax, while he does do AP damage, is auto attack based. Silas still does a lot of auto attack damage, although it doesn't really make a difference late game. Silas is just very strong. And yeah, they have Udyr as well, so that's perfect. Okay, so yeah, just go clear your jungle camps. You've got red up, you've got wraiths up, you've got golems up. Cool. So yeah, you should be clearing the small ones first now, because your isolation damage will make sure your clear is nice and quick. Yeah, one thing you need to get out of the habit of is using your Q, using your W at range. Like, you should just be using it for healing in the jungle. If you don't need it for healing, then don't use it, unless you need it for the AoE camps. Reason being is it's just wasting mana. Okay, so you should be going to do golems here. Didn't need to stealth then. Oh, and that Aphelios messed up. Okay. So you didn't need to stealth then. There was no need for it. You were already obscured in the bush. You had your passive. You should have just walked up to him, and then if he flashed, you use the movement speed from your ult to actually catch him up without having to use your jump. Okay, so here game plan is Akali's just died top. So yeah, recalling's absolutely fine. But do you know how much gold you need for your Duskblades? Because I don't believe you have enough yet. Oh no, you do. You've got your Yumi's. I would go Duskblade first. You have an ult which literally enables it every single time. It's impossible for it not to go off. But with that being said, the movement speed is quite nice from Yumi's, so I don't mind it too much. But yeah, game plan here is that Jax has just killed Akali. He's not gankable. Akali's wasting teleport, so you should just clear your entire top side here. Because I believe, okay, he's using his E again, so he's kind of throwing. Okay, if he had his E up there, which he should have done, you wouldn't have got the kill. What's important to realise when you're playing is that you need to respect the enemy as if they have everything up. Okay, so you actually beat him in a 1v1 here, as long as you play it correctly. That's very good. Yeah. Close, close. You cancelled a couple of autos there. It's important not to panic. You can kill that blue easily. You have so much healing. Okay, so yeah, E-Evolve at level 11 is pretty much where it's at with every single game. No matter what you take as your first, E at level 11 is pretty much standard now. Okay, so you just want to hit the small one again. It's perfect. Get the isolation damage. Keep working your way around the jungle. Wraiths are not up, but your golems are coming up soon, which means you should go clear them and then look for a potential play bot. Okay, just sitting still isn't really that great. If Fiddle's not in mid, you can always take the farm, but you shouldn't ever just sit still. Okay, so at this point Rift Herald's up, so actually what you want to go do is see if you can support the Akali. Dragon is not up yet, I can't see when it's going to be up. I assume you'll hit tab at some point. But yeah, helping out the Akali now is going to be the #1 priority. Seeing if you can get yourself the Rift Herald, get her some pressure. If you can clear her tower, she can roam. Okay, Caitlyn is somehow in the alcove 1v2. Caitlyn's very dead. She was already dead there. There was no need to run. You're wasting a lot of time again, just sat around not really knowing what to do. Like I said, you've got to think of the game plan ahead of time. So bot lane is currently ungankable, bot's dead. Fiddlesticks is mid against the Silas, who's very fed. You can still kill him, you've worked out you can kill him, but they're not... Okay. So once again here, it's a misplay from them, it's not a great play. Aphelios should never be face checking bushes, he should have his blue trinket by now, and Fresh should always be first. So here you just need to make an escape. Don't drop your pink ward here, and don't use your... yeah, okay. So using your E ahead of time there actually burnt your flash. So you should have just saved your E until you saw what they were going to do, and then dashed in a direction which would have kept you completely safe. Okay, so Infernal is top priority for Kha'Zix. You should be getting every single one. Every single Drake from now on you should be on top of prioritizing. Like Infernal's so important, getting the extra AD means you can actually build a defensive item and still have the same stats. So what I'd actually recommend doing here is just jumping over the wall. Doing it in complete discretion before they actually manage to catch you. But yeah, you do have a lot of gold, so potentially backing is great, but you need to communicate this with your team. Because currently they are looking to do Dragon as well because they understand how important it is. You'll also be a lot quicker on buying while you're recalling, get in the shop, get your items ready to buy, rather than clicking on the items separately, just open up the Black Cleaver itself, and then it gives you both the build path items. It'll save you a lot of time in shop, saves you those essential few seconds that you actually need. Okay, so he is killable. Using your E there is pretty much suicide. Oh, it's quite stressful watching him play because he is quite bad, but what can you do? You forced his ult, he's backed off, he's negative HP. So Dragon, you can one-shot the Dragon. Not literally, but you can pretty much one-shot the Dragon. You have isolation damage. Kha'Zix is one of the best early clearers of jungle camps because of that. So you should just be doing it here. That's great, that's an easy kill. Okay, so you can still do Dragon here. Udyr hasn't shown himself. So I believe Udyr is actually AFK, so I'm kind of coaching a 4v5 here, but it's okay because you still got to watch yourself. So especially if you know he's not there, you need to be prioritizing these. Like the best thing to do here is just to pick up the win as quickly as possible before he comes back. As much as it sounds scummy to do that, your team is not as good as their team. So you need to be taking out these advantages as quickly as possible now, because Silas can scale and 4v5. He is one of the champs, unfortunately, that can like 3v1 a lot of the time. It's not pleasant to watch, it's not pleasant to be a part of, but he can do it. So you just need to be picking up this win now as soon as possible before he scales. Okay, so your team's picking up some kills here. So your next port of action is Baron. Yeah, you should clear this obviously. Silas is there. Don't focus him, just get the minions, and then you can go straight to Baron. So Baron's a really easy play at the moment. They've got 3 bot side. You have 4 people alive to their 3 apparently. But at the very least, you should be clearing your jungle camps again. It's so important to stay ahead of the curve on jungle camps. Um, just making sure you know exactly where they are, what they're going to be doing. Okay, so Scuttle secured. You should be checking their jungle. Top side jungle for the red side is obviously the most XP heavy camp. I think you've just worked out that he's AFK. So you should be doing Wraiths and Golems on his side as well now. Give your team a chance to actually catch up by letting them do your jungle camps. Any chance you have, whether they're AFK or not, to farm the enemy jungle frees up a lot of pressure for your team if they are behind to actually clear some jungle camps. Okay, so straight away here, yeah, you stealth, which is perfect. Save your jump, which is great again, and then just dodge out the way. So that's great. I would have saved my E again until I knew where he was going to jump, because if he had flash, he would have killed you. Oh, the ignite got you. Okay. Okay, so your team's voted to surrender, which is quite bad, but I mean, you're fed, so it's on you to carry this game. So you should be looking potentially at a defensive item here. Death's Dance is very, very, very good at the moment with its defensive stats, and also obviously giving you that healing. Very interesting Lux ult. You shouldn't be looking to get more AD at this point. You know that you can beat any single one of them in a 1v1 with the damage you have. So the next step is to make sure you can deal that damage for a longer period of time, which means getting defensive items. If you're playing like you are, you're playing Glass Cannon at the moment, it just means that you're very susceptible to getting blown up, and being your team's main carry, it means that you can basically throw the game by getting caught just once, whereas potentially if you have Death's Dance as your next item, you can get caught 2 or 3 times before you actually die, giving your team chance to actually deal enough damage to make up for the fact that you've been CC'd. Okay, so while you're clicking, you should be looking around the map, seeing what's going on. There's no objectives up currently. Okay, so you should just get over the wall here. Oh, we're going for the kill. Okay. I mean, Silas can definitely 1v1 you if he plays well. No, he's not. Okay. Cool. Okay, so that's a kill secured. Once again, you should now be making calls to your team, getting them on that Baron. Fiddle's on this animation is very interesting. Okay, nice. Wouldn't have jumped forward there. Just save your E when you don't need to use it. Yeah, that is nice. You are right, but now you need to do Baron. You got 4. They've got 1 alive if Voodoo is AFK, which it looks like he is. Mid tower will drop just as quickly with a Baron buff. But all you're doing is giving Silas a chance to get back alive. Now he's back alive, you can't really pressure the Baron because he is very strong. Okay, yep, good. Clearing camps. Unfortunately, there's not much to comment on at the moment, so yeah, it's just going to be a bit of backwards and forwards at this point. Your main goal here, you need to drop your pink ward somewhere in the vicinity. If they're going to keep pushing on you, then drop it somewhere locally. I think that is your pink ward in the river. It doesn't need to be there. You're getting absolutely no information from that. Fiddle's got some good scarecrows up, which is actually quite nice. They're covering a lot of like the internal damage that you might take, but you do need some wards elsewhere. So here, yeah, is a perfect time to pick up Death Dance. No, you got more lethality. So you've got 1,100 gold, and you've got your pink ward. Just put it down somewhere, and you get an extra 800. I assume you're going to take pickups and get the spell shield. Yeah. So two things there. One, if you had if you had the extra gold, if you had spent the extra gold and got it either on damage or survivability, you probably would not have died there, and more importantly, oh, no, nowhere near. Yeah, you wouldn't have died, and more importantly, you probably would have got the kills as well. Okay, so Jax. Personally, if I was Jax there, I would have died for the inhib. He could have easily taken it as Jax. That would have given his team some actual pressure. But considering it's a 4v5, you guys are still not doing too great. So really need to group up at this point and just force a 4v5. Okay, so just drop the pink. If you want to do Baron, it's great. Just drop the pink ward there. But this pink ward needs to go down somewhere. You got 1,700 gold now, and you're still not using it. Like, at this point, you're just hemorrhaging gold. Okay, so here's an absolutely great fight. You should easily win this. Yep, Fiddle's got some great fears. You just get the Silas out of the fight, and you just go on Aphelios. Okay. Okay, so we're just gonna skip ahead of this because they should go do Baron and get your mid inhib. What do? They got your mid inhib. They didn't get Baron. Interesting. They could have easily got Baron there. Okay, so looking for another dragon here, which is perfect. We want to get this Infernal to give you soul, I believe. You need to hit tab more. So straight up, just move around. Just walk around and start fighting them. Okay, you managed to get it there. That's nice. So at this point, it's game over, or it should be anyway. Use your U moves for the extra movement speed. Okay, you got him anyway. Use your U moves again. Oh, okay, so you didn't get either of the drakes beforehand. I thought you got one of them. That's my fault. Okay, so you got 394 AD, and you're still going glass cannon. Your last item is obviously going to be Guardian Angel, um, which in the situation I don't think is that useful. It's a 4v5. It doesn't need to be a 4v6. What it does need to be is you actually staying alive for long enough to use your abilities. Those Guardian Angel is very deceptive in the sense that well, yeah, it does bring you back to life. If you're losing the team fight and you die, you're just going to die again, and it's going to be a waste of gold. Having something like Death's Dance can stop you from dying the first time in the first place, and actually give you a chance to use your abilities. And also, I don't like buying Guardian Angel as a last item, because at this point now, you're in a weird situation where you haven't used your stopwatch, and stopwatch is by far the most valuable utility item in the game. Obviously, that's why it got nerfed so many times, and you haven't had a chance to use it yet. Even if you just picked that up earlier in the game and used it, it would have been more valuable than what you've done now, which is basically you've just wasted 600 gold. Okay, so you should pick up blue here, even though I've just noticed with your items you're actually overcapped on CDR by 10%, so it would have made sense to go for a different lethality item, or just, like I said, not a lethality item at all. While the 10% doesn't matter that much, it is still 10%. That's 10% of gold wasted. Or, well, a certain amount of gold wasted, but that's 10% cooldown reduction you basically just put in the bin. Okay, so this should just be an end here. Like I said, it's 4v5. You know it's 4v5. You just want to keep pushing down mid. If Fresh steps up, you will just collapse on him, and then you keep going. Okay, yeah, so Caitlyn is doing the right thing. You need to support Caitlyn. Just peel for her. Okay, so you should just still win this fight. Interesting E, but yeah, it worked. So you don't jump on that. Good. So all you want to do now, okay, Akali's got caught, so you kind of have to fight now. Yeah, that's great. Just wait. Okay, got the Guardian Angel. Like I said, you're winning the fight, so it's okay to die because you're going to respawn and they're not going to have the damage to kill you. But okay, that should be the end of the game. Oh no, it's not. It's not the end of the game. Skip over this a minute then. So what's going on here? So they respawn. You kill them again. Oh no, you died. But I think it's too late for them now. Okay, so that's the end of the game. So your overall gameplay as a whole isn't very bad. Actually, I've seen a lot worse decision making. Things to consider when you are playing the game is your clearing early game. Your clearing early game needs to be a lot stronger. You'll notice that a lot of pros don't take much damage at all when they're clearing the jungle. It's because they implement the simple steps. So it's just making sure that you're always using your W um, at close range, making sure you get maximum heals. You need to be clearing the wraiths on cooldown because they give you the most healing. Making sure you take boots early game, it gives you a better opportunity to kite jungle caps and also to gank better. And using the free auto strategy that I said, because that will help you massively. Once you move into the mid game, after you're through your early stage of farming, it's just making sure you're clearing your jungle camps as much as possible. A lot of people do the same mistake, and you'll notice that you fall very far behind very early. If you just kept up early game, you probably would have been able to snowball your lead, but because your 4 kills had a deficit of 20 or 30 CS, which is so massive in the jungle because it's not just 20 or 30 CS, the gold is huge. Udyr was able to keep up with you for the entire game and cause problems until he obviously DC'd. Um, and late game is just about making sure you're building correctly. So like I said, you didn't need to be glass cannon this game. While you were dealing a lot of damage, you had 3 infernals. So you had a whole lot of stats, so yeah, it's just making sure that you're keeping on top of it, making sure you're making decisions as you go. Don't build standard every single game because no game is standard. Okay, all right. I hope that was information. I hope that had enough information in it for you. If you have any questions for me, just send me a message, give me a shout. I'm always happy to look over more. And thank you very much. Have a great day.